And great to have everybody back here with the semi-finals of Week 2. This is the Unsquashable Premier League in Auckland at Squash XL. 8 players who are some of the best domestic young players around New Zealand, able to play on this glass court under level 2 conditions in New Zealand. This first match underway. And the 2 players that we have on court. In the, I guess we'll call him the grey and blue shirt, is Mason SMALES, who's 15-year-old, does have a PSA ranking already. He's the left-hander, got plenty of talent, plenty of racket skills. It's just a matter of him playing against these older players and getting used to it a bit more. He didn't play in the Week 1. And the other player on the court there, the right-hander, is Glenn Templeton, 18-year-old. With a ranking of 357. Other matches today will be the other plate matches. Michael Shelton Agar against Jack Condor, the pinball, throws himself around the court. And then the 2 main semi-finals. That is the top-seeded or top-ranked player, Joel Ascott, the 20-year-old, ranked at 235, up against Leo Fatialofa, the 17-year-old, at 380, and that'll be a top contest. And the final match of today will see another good one. Temwa Chalisi, the winner of their first tournament, 19-year-old, 337 in the world, up against Elijah Thomas, the 17-year-old, who's 257. So a couple of good semi-final matches coming up a little bit later on. So much better performance here by Mason SMALES than yesterday. He was a little bit shell-shocked against Joel Ascott. You can see from the left-hander, does have plenty of skills, able to hold the ball quite nicely. And we want to say thank you very much to all the people who have listened and watched over the last couple of days and also last week. Hope you're enjoying some different kind of squash, some good quality squash, and a little bit of character on the court as well, particularly from people like Jack Condor, Leo Fatialofa with his athleticism, and players like Elijah Thomas, who's been coached by Carol Owens in the past. So the rules in New Zealand at the moment under level 2 do allow for gatherings of 10 or more in big facilities. A nice play there by Glenn Templeton, just working his way into the match. And Squash XL in Auckland is a big facility. 2 of the players actually live here and train here. That is Temwa Chalisi and Joel Ascott. They live here. There's already been a story done on them on one of the national TV sports news programs. And that is thanks to John Duggan, the owner of the venue. Nice touch there by Mason SMALES. You can see the left-hander is, I guess, what you could call the typical left-hander hold. Remember, he is just 15 years old. Not that his opponent, Glenn Templeton, is that much older at 18. Oh, great shot. On the volley, cross court. Oh yes, and of course Glenn Templeton is the boss baby. Last week we figured out who boss baby was. An animated character called Templeton. Shot. Nice movement by Glenn Templeton back in the rally. With a lot of the young players, you're not going to see the strategic rally of playing down the backhand side all the time. You'll see a little bit of spontaneity, particularly with people like Mason Smales and Leo Federer. As Joel Ascott commented, or maybe it was Timwell commented about someone like Leo Federer, they're shot makers. They're not going to stay out there all day. They're going to try and win the point rather than wait for the error. There you go, a little bit of patience, just took his time. And Glenn Templeton, very good on his backhand side, up close, and control the ball. Has that extra reach. In fact, all of the players here are quite tall, Templeton in particular. Templeton again staying consistent in this game. Just couldn't get out of the way of that one. At least it wasn't a straight drive as such. It didn't go too hard. And there we go. The powerful backhand of Templeton winning him that point there. Moving along nicely in this, the second game. Now, an interesting comment from Clive Pollard, how some states in Australia do have courts open. I think that's Western Australia and Northern Territory for training but not matches. So here in New Zealand, all squash courts are open. So you can go and have a hit with your mate, or you can do training, as long as it's not massive crowds. And many people certainly rejoiced as soon as they were able to go and have a hit with their mate, have a game, do a little bit of training after being relatively locked up for quite a number of weeks. To get out there and have a hit against your mate, certainly a lot of people are very happy about that. The same goes with tennis and other racket sports. Shot. Oh, well picked up. And for anybody who doesn't think that Glenn Templeton moves well, you can just see that he can cover the court very well. Nice play. The backhand is really the strength of Glenn Templeton in many ways. He wins more points from it than he does actually from his forehand. Well, that's what it looks like. Every time you see him play, it seems to be the backhand is his strength. Opportunity to take this the second game for Templeton. 10-6 at the moment, but again Mason Smales is showing he's got shots just like that. It's a matter of as a 15-year-old, can he become consistent and perhaps fitter? But He is 15. Let's remember that. So the second game they're going to Glen Templeton. Leads now by 2 games to love. This is the first of 4 matches today. On to the third game of this, the first match. Day 2 of the second week of the Unsquashable Premier League. It is Mason Smales against Glen Templeton. The 15-year-old Mason Smales against the 18-year-old Glen Templeton. Templeton taking the first 2 games. A nice play there by Mason Smales, just using his control. Although, as I say control, he isn't able to bounce the ball for the serve. And later on today, we'll be joined by Temwa Chalishi and Joel Ascott for some of the matches. We just want to see a bit more running from Mason Smales. We know he's got the talent with the racket. What can he do to cover the court as well? A shot. You can see what Mason Smales is aiming to do. It's just a matter of the execution at times, possibly a little rushed. He's got the skills. It's a good play, guiding it through. And staying in this third game, Mason Smales, he's there. Let's see whether he can keep it consistent. He's got the court. So well done there. Running the point well. Oh, not quite. Nice play, dominating the middle and having the choice of wherever he wanted to go on that volley. Well done there to Glen Templeton, keeping it consistent, waiting for the mistake from his younger opponent. Templeton is the New Zealand Junior champion. He beat Roger Thomas in 5 games in the final last year in Auckland. Quite an amazing comeback in that particular match. And certainly staying in this match is Mason Smales, or in this particular game. Quite a tall left-hander for 15. be around about the 6 foot mark, if not a little bit taller. And well done there to Glenn Templeton, taking the match in straight games. That was 11-8, 11-6 and 11-8. 20-minute game, defeating his 15-year-old opponent, Mason Smales.